Okay, so what's going to be on tomorrow's test? Oh, sorry, what I was trying to say is please make sure you come at lunch if you think you are needed. P2 will start at 12 o'clock. Okay, I have a second period test that will be finishing, so you guys will begin at 12. If you need to, if we need to talk about it tomorrow, we can. The first page will be one of those adding 3D vector questions like Superman flies here and then he flies here, what's the total displacement? That'll be the first question you get at lunch. Okay, so you'll have lunch to work on that. If you choose not to come, you'll just have class to work on that. Okay, so that's fine. That'll be at number 1. All right, so here we go. What's on tomorrow's test?
Today is March 24th.
Please also remember the choice sums to be tomorrow too. Tomorrow's test, there is going to be at least one proof. And we're going to say there will be no component cross-product questions. Okay, so there'll be at least one proof. I'll say show this or display this using components or whatever it'll be. Okay, I will not be component cross-product. I don't expect you to memorize that. There was one on your assignment, like number 5. Okay, I'm not making you do that at the test because it's too much to know. Okay, it's one thing to do it with the book open. This is closed book. Okay. There will also be lots of dot product, both magnitude A, magnitude B. We'll have a long weekend. Are we saying I'm saying coats here, right? Is that right? We're saying coats. And then we're doing components too. Cross products. That's magnitude A, magnitude B, sine theta, and no components. We're going to say, let me rephrase here. I'll do the IJK, is what we'll need for that one, okay? Does that make sense if I write that? Yes? Adding 3D vectors. Projections. Work. We're missing torque. Missing anything? What am I missing? What else on the assignment do I miss there? I think that's it.
Projection.
Yeah, projections. Is that it? I think that's it. Is that it? What else is on the assignment? I think that's it. Other than last year's test, I'm making up ours tonight, but that's all I think was on last year's test. Good? Did I miss anything? I think that's it. That's good to me. Okay? I think that's it.
Like triple scalar product?
Yeah. So that's like an application. That would just be like an application. Yes. So ground and resultants. That's 3D word problem. Right, so that's like you're changing a 3D vector into triangles, right? That's sort of one there too. Okay, there'll be the Superman one. There'll probably be another one that involves something like a plane being blown by a wind, right, and all that sort of stuff. Okay. Questions and fears. What do you want me to start with here? Do you want me to go through some of these, or do you guys have questions you want to go through, or what do you think, Amy?
Can you do like one question?
Yeah, no problem. Let's look here. That's cross. That's cross. Okay, so this is the same as A cross B. So it's going to be magnitude A, magnitude B, sine theta. Okay, so the way it works here, so the n hat's going to tell you again if it's going into the page or over the page. And again, as Michael said yesterday or last week now, there will be no water bottles allowed. No, I'm just joking. If you want to get a water bottle, that's fine. But think of it, that's the same way how the direction's going to go. So the question was to say something like this. Calculate it's just simple as that. What was the question of the assignment? Give you some sort of scenario. Do the force and displacement. Something. There's no one on. Okay, we'll leave one like this. That's fine. Calculate the torque. Okay. So what I'll need is I'll need a magnitude. I'll also need a direction. Okay. So whoops. Simply enough here, what I did was I also drew an arrow. Okay, because that's going to tell you which way the rotation is going to go. Okay, first of all, if the rotation is going that way, am I going into the page or out of the page? This is going to go into the page, okay? So counterclockwise. Okay. So then all it's going to be then is, it's going to be 10.
Right? Isn't that out of the page? Because if you twist the lid counterclockwise, it goes off.
All right there? Okay, no, you're right.
So it's out of the page.
Left the other side.
No, we're going out of the page, right? Use my right hand rule there. Oh boy, calculus teachers do too. Right, 'cause again, this is the idea of the right hand rule if you're looking here. So, yeah, we're going like that. Okay, so this is going to be 10 times 15 times sine 60. And the direction is going to be then which page? So that's 250, 125, 53. Like there's nothing even to it. Like this is like a one marker pretty much is all that function is, right? So there's not, oops, that's wrong set of file. Here's this, right, this. 150 divided by 2. Okay, sine 60 is 3 over 2, right? So again, that's like a one marker question. That's all that one is. Like there's not much to that. So I doubt there'll be anything too much.
So on the test, would you want root 3 over 2 or put a decimal answer?
Oh goodness, never decimal myself.
So then they need to know the special triangle.
Yes. So for something like 60 degrees, again, 30 and 60 and 45, I'm not going to say like 225. We'll get to that later on in the course. Okay, but 30, 45, 60, 90, 0. That should be too. Okay. What next? That's only a minor little question. Don't worry about. I wouldn't worry too much about that. If that one's on there, it's like a mark or two. That isn't heavy duty. What else?
I say this, I feel like you're gonna get mad,
No.
but could we kind of go over a little bit more about adding 3D vectors? Because I did really bad at homework.
Yeah, no problem. You want like word problems then? You want?
Sure.
Okay. Okay, the way that I'm going to do is I'm basically going to go into components. That's how I'm going to do it here. So there's two ways to do it. There's two basic types of questions. The first one's like the Spider-Man question, okay, which means that you have certain things like you're comparing, you're comparing two things to something else and finding their height and distance from it. So the example we did in the board before was one where we were looking at the CN tower and using angles of elevation and stuff like this and figuring out from that what the distances are. That's almost like a grade 10 question or grade 11 question, that one, because there's not too much. And then another one we did was with the wind. So you're flying up in the air, the wind blows you this way, right? So that's another component. The third type we did was like Superman, right? Where he's flying like this and he's flying like this, what's his final position? So I'm gonna do one of those right now, like a Superman question. What else can we do with Superman? Who else flies? Nobody? Iron Man.
Yeah, and rides on the plane.
so something like that should be a 3D one, you should be able to handle. Okay, I'm not original today. Sorry about that. Okay.